Hi, I'm Taylor. Welcome to my channel where I share my life and travel experiences as an American expat in Malaysia. Today, I want to talk about MM2H. If you don't know what it is, or if you want to hear more about it, stay tuned. Good morning. Welcome from a dreary Kuala Lumpur. It's not always sunny and beautiful in Malaysia, I'm sorry to say. Cloudy weather is a welcome relief from the unrelenting sun. Today, I want to talk to you about MM2H, which stands for Malaysia My Second Home. It's a government program for a long-term resident visa in Malaysia that's been around for quite a while. I got my MM2H in 2015, and it's good for 10 years, so I have a couple more years left before I have to renew it. Luckily, I can renew under the old terms, for the most part anyway. Now, I'm sure, as most of you know, this information is readily available on the internet and on the government websites. So this is just going to be my overview of it and a lot of my opinion too. So take that in mind. Today I'm going to give you the amounts both in Malaysian ringgit and in US dollars. That way, if you're not converting to US dollars, you'll have the Malaysian ringgit amount. I'm using the exchange rate of 4.1 ringgit to 1 US dollar. When I got my MM2H, the requirements were, you needed to show you had 350,000 ringgit in liquid assets. That translates to 85,000 US dollars, which is pretty doable for a lot of people who are close to retirement. You were also required to have 10,000 Malaysian ringgit a month in income. That translates to 2,439 US dollars. When I was accepted to the program, I had two more requirements to fulfill. I had to place an 150,000 ringgit fixed deposit in a Malaysian bank. That comes out to 36,500 US dollars. Now that money, for the most part, can't be touched as long as you have the visa. I understand you can withdraw parts of it if you want to buy real estate or a car or for medical expenses. And it's always important to remember that if you ever want to leave the program, you'll get that money back. Although I heard it's not that easy, but you will get it. I also had to have a physical, and if you're under 60, you had to have health insurance. For some reason, no one I've ever talked to can figure out, if you're over 60, health insurance is not a requirement, when you would think it would be the other way around. Who knows? I don't remember exactly when it happened. It was a year or more ago, during COVID, where they announced that they were changing the program. The new government in Malaysia had decided that they wanted to, as they said, attract more quality applicants. I'm not sure what that means because I think I'm pretty good quality. Anyway, they created an uproar in the expat community by raising the requirements so much. They're now requiring 1.5 million ringgit in liquid assets, which converts to $365,000 US. Wow. You also need to have 40,000 ringgit a month income. 40,000 ringgit a month income. Let me say that again. That translates to 9,750 US. Then, once you're accepted, you're required to put 1 million ringgit in the fixed deposit, which is 243,902 US dollars. It's a lot. You still need a checkup, and still no health insurance is required if you're over 60. Now, as you can well imagine, this freaked everyone out, me included, because I thought, oh my gosh, I only have a few more years, and then what am I going to do, get kicked out of the country? It was a possibility. I know people who actually left because they felt unwelcome. I, on the other hand, have lived here long enough to realize that the government changes here and the government can change its mind here. and it's quite possible that they will. Fingers crossed. Initially, there was great confusion about renewing your MM2H. Were the new numbers going to apply to renewal too? That was a scary thought. The government really didn't have an answer at first, and I guess they hadn't thought that completely out. But it turns out no. If you already had your MM2H, you were only required to fill the original requirements. Thank goodness for that. Still, it got a lot of people nervous. We are guests in this country, and grateful guests at that. We certainly don't want to criticize the government because, honestly, they're doing a really nice thing for us. Malaysia is divided into Peninsular Malaysia and East Malaysia, which is on Borneo. The states in East Malaysia are Sarawak and Sabah. Now, I'm not sure how long, but for quite a while now, Sarawak has had its own Malaysia My Second Home program. Its requirements are far less stringent and remain so for now. I've heard rumors that they're going to follow suit and make stricter requirements like they have in West Malaysia, but in my opinion, that's probably not going to happen. But if you're thinking about moving to Malaysia anytime soon, I would go ahead and apply with the Sarawak MM2H. It's a really better deal. So, the numbers for Sarawak MM2H. This is for expats over 50 years old. They have no requirement for liquid assets, which is amazing. Then you have a choice. You can put a fixed deposit of 150,000 ringgit in the bank, which comes to $36,500 US, or you have to prove that you have a monthly income of 7,000 ringgit a month, or $1,707 US. That's for a single. For a couple, the income requirement is 10,000 ringgit, or $2,439 US. The income must be in the form of a pension or salary only. They have the same requirements as getting a checkup, and also, again, if you're over 60, no medical insurance required. One more requirement for the Sarawak MM2H program is that you are required to spend 15 days per year in Sarawak. Not a problem, because it's a lovely place to be. Also, the current system in West Malaysia has a different requirement for the price of the visa and the length of it too. It used to be for 10 years, it's now for 5. When I applied, you paid 90 ringgit a year for your visa. Now it's 500 ringgit a year. The Sarawak MM2H visa is good for 10 years, but you have to renew it after the first 5 years. I know I've been throwing a lot of numbers at you and it can be very confusing, but it's basically pretty simple. And as I said, there's plenty of places on the internet to look it up and get a chart or something you can see all in one place of what the costs break down to. But sometimes it's good just to hear it from someone who's gone through it themselves. I've also heard from many people who've renewed their MM2H since the changes have been made, and it's been no problem at all. Even though it's been moved from the tourism department to the immigration department, the staff is friendly and helpful and nice. Just what you would expect in Malaysia, where everyone is pretty friendly. So I hope you found this helpful. I know there was nothing like this out there when I was looking at MM2H. I just want to reiterate that although I've tried to be as accurate as I can be, I might have gotten 1 or 2 things wrong. If you're serious about looking into MM2H for yourself, I recommend getting a reputable agent. While I don't want to get into recommending any one MM2H agency, there are many Facebook forums available on MM2H that would be glad to help with that. If you liked today's video, please like and subscribe. I'm planning many more videos to share with you. I'm not sure what I'm going to do next. It's either going to be a tour of my apartment here with costs of everything and the furniture, furnishing it. I might do that. Or I might do shopping and activities. I'm not sure yet, so you're going to have to stay tuned. As always, I appreciate you so much. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.